Apart from Always, nothing happened since then, but we are seeing Always indeed driving very slowly because of the wing damage. With 5 seconds, now it's gonna be 6 seconds from Bazooka ahead of him. But this midfielder is still battling very hard as the McLaren of Sully goes past the Sully, and Edwin is defending. No, he's actually letting pass Sully. Sully is in P6, fighting with Edwin for these points in the side. Edwin on the inside line, and yeah, Sully on the outside. I think he might have hit the wall. I'm not sure if it was lag, but yeah, the car looks fine. And yeah, that's Edwin back into P6, and Phantom is gonna have to defend from that P5. The top 4 is still staying the same, and I think that they're just gonna attack each other at the last possible lap. But this midfielder is still staying very active right now, so we're gonna stay on board with them at the moment. As Edwin will have the DRS, and he will finally have the chance to go into P5. As Phantom is trying to defend the inside line as much as possible, and Sully with a huge dive bomb on the inside. What is Sully doing? Sully out of nowhere, outbraking himself, trying the inside with a huge dive bomb, but I don't know if he got wing damage for that, but he came out of nowhere. And now it's actually Sully up into P6 with a move all of a sudden. I didn't even see that coming. And that's the McLaren making a move on the Red Bull of Edwin. Bazooka is still stuck in P8 though. He is watching all of the battling ahead of him, but he still cannot get quite close to. He didn't send it. He definitely sent it before, but now he's backing out. And Phantom, he's having a lot of pressure behind his back. He's trying so hard to defend that P5, and everyone behind is trying so hard to get that P5. They all have DRS, but they're not quite overtaking yet. And Phoenix is still backing out. Are we gonna see Mose as Sully gets past Phantom right before the braking zone? He stays on the outside. Now it's the normal racing line. It is the McLaren up into P5. Phantom, I think, will have DRS instantly. Yes, he has. He can make the move to get the P5 back. But Edwin and Bazooka are also fighting with the DRS. Now Phantom on the inside is gonna send it into turn 1. Yes, he is, but he's step aside. There's contact as Phantom almost gets spun around, but he keeps the car on track. But that lost him quite a lot of time. They're bumping wheels with Edwin going before turn 4, and they oh, Phantom hit the wall. Phantom is out of the track, and he lost the P5, and now he's into P7, and Bazooka is still joining fight. But Phantom with a huge mistake. I think he might have got wing damage. Yeah, Phantom is understeering all over the place, and what a shame for Phantom. A costly mistake, hitting the inside wall of turn 4. He could have gone much worse doing that, but yeah, the left hand plate for Phantom is missing, and I mean, the turn 1 overtake was controversial. That could be looked at after the stewards, but the wing damage, I think it's purely on Phantom. Just steered earlier and got the wall, but man, what a shame. So unfortunate for Phantom. He was staying in P5 all the way through the entire race, and now he's gonna have to. But anyway, Phoenix and Catch Racer are finally making a move as we approach lap 24. So now it's Phoenix up into the podium position. We're gonna go back to the championship leaders because they're still fighting side by side. Catch Racer gets the P3 right before the braking zone of turn 1. He's still getting the podium back, and now we are approaching. Phoenix has recovered all of his energy. I think that's why he was lifting so much, to recover as much energy as possible. He has a full battery. What about Catch Racer? So has Catch Racer. They are both doing the same. They are still keeping the battery full to the brim. so that they can go full attack mode on the last lap, and it's not gonna be long until we see that, because it's lap 24, only 1 lap and a half left to see who's gonna have the best out of the two championship leaders. And Felix definitely needs to stay as close as possible. He has the DRS, but I don't think he will attack because he wants the DRS before turn 1. And he's getting close, taking all the slipstream, but there's still quite a gap to cover if he wants to get past. And now we are starting the last lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and Felix is trying everything to get the move done. Catch Racer is still trying to break the toe. In the meanwhile, Bazooka and Saudi are fighting very hard. We have 3 cars fighting before turn 1. Who's gonna be ahead between Bazooka, Saudi and Edwin, fighting for P5, and the Meccano of Saudi has the outside line, and they are still staying side by side. Edwin trying to make a move on the inside at turn 2, but now it is Saudi in P5, Bazooka in P6, Edwin in P7. What about Felix? Is still only 7 tenths behind Catch Racer. He's still in the DRS, but he needs to close that gap as much as possible. We're gonna go back to Edwin though, because he's 2 tenths away. I almost saw Bazooka into the wall. There was quite some hard steering, but Edwin with a switchback, staying on the inside line, also 13. The Red Bull is gonna actually stay ahead, maybe yes, maybe not. No, he cannot get the move done. He's still staying in P7. Bazooka defending at P6 and trying to attack Sully as quickly as possible for the P5. But what about Felix? He's in onto the last DRS zone, and it's still not enough to make a move. I think that's it. He cannot get past. He's way too far. But we're gonna go on board with the Haas of Rudy, who wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and Sam closes in P2, and Catches and Felix fighting across the finish line. Catch Racer closes the podium, and Felix is in P4. But what about that midfield battle? Because Saudi is defending from Edwin and Bazooka, and Edwin made the move on Bazooka actually, and now across the line it is Sully in P5, Edwin in P6 and Bazooka in P7. And now we are just waiting on Always and Phantom to finish their laps. Phantom 3 seconds away. I think they're fighting for the fastest lap, and all of the ERS. Let's see, Always across the finish line. He doesn't get the fastest lap. What about Phantom? He doesn't as well. So that's it. That's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix done, and it is Rudy winning round 11 here in season 13. And Saudi gets driver of the day. I think I can agree. You know, his qualifying wasn't the best, but he still recovered up to P5. So yeah, this has been the second last race here in this season and in his game. And we can see the driver in a Haas suit. It is Rudy on the top step of the podium. It's been such a long time since we've seen a different race winner that wasn't Felix of Catch Racer. Finally, it is not a Mercedes, it is not a Ferrari, it is a Haas finishing P1. And an Alfa Romeo finishing P2 with a wonderful drive from Tom. And Catch Racer closes the last step of the podium in P3. Felix has dropped out of the podium. And so this means Catch Racer gains 2 points on Felix. So the gap after this race will be 12 points. Obviously, if we don't consider possible Stewart's decisions, I don't think I've seen incidents between Felix and Catch Racer, so that should be fine. So yeah, I think I can confidently say the gap will still be 12 points. constructors is still very much open, and the game didn't show me the last race results, but yeah, anyway, I've said them before. So I was looking at the standings. So this has been round 11, the second to last race of this season and of this game. The gap will be to 12, will be up to 12 points after this race, and we're gonna head off next week. We're gonna close finally the F1 game cycle. It's gonna be next week, still on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. UK, the season finale in Brazil. Felix, if he wants the championship, he's gonna have to gain 12 points, which is gonna be very hard to do in one race only, but I'm sure we're still expecting a lot of action to come in next week's race on Saturday in Brazil.